The Knicks were down 14, Allen, in the third quarter. Every time they got close, they fell back. They got close, they fell back. As we showed everyone, Brunson finally put them in front with about a minute to go, and they ended up losing by 5. Very, very difficult loss.
I mean, heroic effort by Jalen Brunson for another frustrating offensive night for the Knicks, and a fourth time now in 6 games that they have shot under 40% for the game. But somebody had to get some scoring going to get them back in the game. And it was Brunson that took over and tried to will this team to a win. It just wasn't enough. And then on the other side, Dame Lillard, that's what stars do, show up in the big moment.
Showed up in the big moment, 23s by the Milwaukee Bucks. That's the difference in the game. It's tough to win a game no matter how hard you play and how gritty Jalen Brunson pulls off his hero act when the other team shoots 20 for 39 from the three-point line. The Knicks dominated all the hustle categories, the boards, the turnovers, everything. They took care of business in all those categories, but it comes down to making shots. And right now, the Knicks' shooting percentage is not good. Jalen Brunson figured out a way to get himself into the zone, just go one-on-one, just put the team on his back. But other guys are getting open looks. DiVincenzo, 1 for 9. Josh Hart, 2 for 9. Just struggling making open shots. And you're not going to win games in this league if when you do run offense and you execute and get a good look at the basket and you don't cash in, you're just not going to win, especially against a team like Milwaukee on the road.
Bucks make 23s. Knicks make only 10.
Yep.
Julius Randle only 5 of 20. No R.J. Barrett for the second straight game because of that sore left knee. Jalen Brunson, 45 points. That's his second high total as a Knick. But in the end, Wally, the Bucks and Dame Lillard had just enough down the stretch to win it.
That's why they got Damian Lillard. They needed a closer. You can tell that Middleton's not the same. And, you know, they got guys that can shoot all over the place. Brook Lopez was either shooting an air ball or he was making a 3.
And then Giannis goes 3 for 3 from downtown. You're giving him those, but he's hitting them.
Yeah.
Manuel quickly came off the bench and did a nice job stabilizing because their bench came in and was firing and scoring. But you could see there the block from Giannis as Hartenstein tried to get the dunk. This is a block party for the Bucks in this game.
Lopez was just like, how many blocks do you want me to get here? And there's the bucket by Brunson that gives the Knicks the 2-point lead.
Wow, they're letting them play physical this year, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And, you know,
up and under there by Lillard gets the lead back.
The refs are getting a lot of heat. And, you know, finally, Randall found it at the end of the game. He made a couple
lead.
Big buckets. Yep.
That big shot there. It's about a minute,
103 to 101, and then Lillard comes right back onto the Kupo screen. Just a simple play, gets his feet set, 1-point lead there
now what
for Milwaukee.
What is going on here?
Yeah, that was just a fire drill.
And where's the foul, by the way?
Oh, he fouled him. He pushed him.
He pushed him?
It was late.
In a game where everybody's getting beat up, we're calling that one.
Yeah, but when you're going up to shoot that and you give a guy a little one of these, that's a foul every time.
Okay.
And Lillard's not going to miss that free throw. They built themselves a 4-point lead at that point, and it was tough for the Knicks to come back. But that's a heartbreaking loss. I mean, these losses are stacking up now for the Knicks. And, you know, I've been saying it, you know, that preseason was a little choppy for the Knicks. And, you know, you got to be ready to play come game 1. And right now this team doesn't look like they're tight like they were for most of last season.
So the Knicks now 2-4, as you mentioned, and 0-1 in the in-season tournament. They play a total of 4 in-season tourney games. They have 3 left. Monica McNutt now joins us from Milwaukee. She helped call the game on the MSG Radio Network. Monica, great to see you as always. Your impressions of the game tonight.
So Tony Braxton is in my head, and I don't want to sing because, you know, I don't want to cost us any money. But unbreak my heart and show me that you can shoot threes again? Like, what is happening?
What have I told you about the roller coaster, Monica? What have we told you?
Pidto, we're up and we're down and we're all over. Listen, I am encouraged by the defensive effort that we saw in that fourth quarter to bring the game to that single possession and take a lead momentarily. I'm going to choose to believe that the shooting's going to come just 6 games into the season, because if not, oh boy.
Mon, when we were watching this game, what we saw clearly was Jalen Brunson just try to take over offensively because, as you mentioned, like nobody had it going offensively. And it just looked like he finally just said, all right, enough of this, whatever we're running. Just give me the ball and I'll get us back into this thing. He was making some big shots in a big performance, but it wasn't enough.
My partner, Pat O'Keefe, he looked at me and said, I mean, they got 2 days off. They don't play till Monday. Jalen's probably not coming out. And that's exactly what happened, right? Yeah. He has his 5th 40-point performance in a New York Knicks uniform. And if you're a Knicks fan, be very thankful that he is your guy. Now, on the flip side of that, though, he's got to have some help. And I thought there was a spurt in the fourth quarter where I appreciated that this team was no longer settling for attacking with the intention of just collapsing the defense and trying to spray to the three-point line. They went and attacked and looked to score. Yes, we saw 2 shot blocks from Brook Lopez, but that's okay. You also saw some trips to the free throw line. And so what I think you saw there is exactly what I heard Wally say. A team that formerly won a championship, has that pedigree, that went and got a closer, because Damian Lillard scored 12 points in that fourth quarter by himself. Guys, and did you realize when Dame hit that layup, the up and under, I believe Quentin Grimes may have been guarding him, that was the first 2-point field goal in the fourth quarter? Other than that, it had been threes and free throws.
Monica, Knicks, tough to watch at times, some of their possessions. 2-4 now. How do they get this thing turned around?
I think you need more creativity on the offensive end, Wally. The one play that Julius got fouled, or I believe he may have scored, right? They inbound the ball at the half-court line, and then you had the double stagger on one side with Julius and Mitchell Robinson. Josh comes, replace Julius, and Julius is able to curl and scores on Giannis. To me, that kind of stands out of one of maybe a handful off the top of my head that were not 1 or 2 passes, and then you're looking at iso ball. In the pregame, Coach Tom Thibodeau said you have to move the bigs of the Milwaukee Bucks, and I just think that this team settled for threes that, frankly, they weren't hitting, and then they didn't move the defense enough. And so as this season continues to progress, I would want them to sit down and watch the Atlanta tape and watch how they move the ball in that particular game against a team with size outside of Trae Young at the point guard spot. And so, to me, you are craving, you are suffering for not being able to find easy baskets in transition, which we saw a few in this ball game when Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson decided just to go coast to coast. But then also the defense, you got to get some more movement to get some easier looks and some open lanes.
All right, Monica, Monday's another night. Who knows about the roller coaster, but it makes it fun. Thanks for joining us as always. We'll see you soon, all right?
Sounds good.
All right, and again, the deal here with Brunson, as we've mentioned, he had to do what he did tonight, the 45 points, because Randall took only 6 shots in the second half, and as I mentioned, finished 5 out of 20, and again, no R.J. Barrett. Brunson had to do what he did tonight.
Yeah, he did. It just reached that point. Once you realize that Julius Randle was not going to shoot the basketball. He was not confident at all in his shot, and so he started becoming passive. You were down to one of your big-time scorers, and so he did what a player needs to do. Somebody's got to do it, I'll do it. And so he just started going into God mode, one-on-one, and I'll make plays. And he gave everything he had in this game. Got beat up a lot, too. They put Jay Crowder on him later in the game to get a little more physicality on him because guys like Pat Connaughton can't keep him in front. But this is what you needed him to do. It's just unfortunate that it wasn't enough because this is that vintage Jalen Brunson, like you mentioned, all-star. That's an all-star performance.
Oh, he's an all-star. I mean, he can turn it on whatever this team needs. And this isn't what he wants to have to do in every game. He wants to be a point guard. He wants to, get his 20-25 within the flow of the offense, but still orchestrate, run the offense, get Randall involved, get Grimes some threes, get Josh Hart some open looks, get Mitch some lobs. Mitch didn't score tonight. But the defense just wasn't allowing those guys to get anything going, and those guys weren't making open shots. So he had to look around. It was kind of like, I just got to do this myself, guys.
Yes.
Like, if no one's going to jump on the bandwagon with me here, I'm just going to do this myself. I'm going to get us back into the game, give us a chance to win down the stretch. Can our defense pull us through? Unfortunately, they couldn't get enough stops against Damian Lillard in the last couple minutes.
And Giannis has beaten the Knicks now 7 straight times. Like, Giannis has had the Knicks number. He has dominated.
Giannis was not good tonight.
But that's the thing. He didn't have a great game.
No.
Lillard
How
at
many,
the end.
8 turnovers, 7 turnovers
Lillard,
for Giannis?
Lillard didn't have a great game either until the very end. Giannis had 7
Kind of like
turnovers.
Mitchell the other night
turnovers.
against Cleveland.
And Donovan Mitchell, the closer stuff that we talk about, right? But it was other people. The threes, by the way, the game turned second quarter when the bench came in and it was Jay Crowder and Marjan Beauchamp came in. And they just started raining threes.
Great name.
And everybody just started hitting threes at that point. You were getting beat by those guys hitting threes, Lopez hitting threes, and Giannis going 3 for 3 from downtown. That's really where you had your struggle because you couldn't match that because the Knicks, as I mentioned already now, 4 times now in the first 6 games, they're shooting under 40% from the field. Very difficult to win games that way.
Quentin Grimes, though, did play well, season high 17. Emmanuel quickly again solid off the bench with 14, but not enough as the Knicks lose by 5.